Howdy y'all, it's Alicia and welcome back to A Pickle Walk Sloth Knits. This is I believe episode 4, and it has been a hot minute since I have put an episode out. I think it was the beginning of February. So we've had a lot of things going on since then. We've had, 5 birthdays since the beginning of I take that back, 6 birthdays since the beginning of February. And we've had several dive meets. We've had spring break for all the kids and Easter, and just life in general. So we've been kind of busy and I've been neglectful in getting out a podcast, but here I am for episode 4. So thanks for joining me. And today I just threw on my Radvent cardigan. Yes, by Amba O'Brien. So I just threw this on today. It's a little chilly today here in Texas. Most people wouldn't think it's chilly, but Texans do. So, and also I have some little sloth yarn ball earrings that my sweet college daughter brought home to me between now and the last time I posted. So I'm wearing those today too. One other exciting thing. I have been yarn crawling across North Texas. The yarn crawl started this past Friday, the 22nd of April, and I've been to 2 stores so far. So I'll have some vlog post about the yarn crawl and my adventures over the next about week. It goes on through this coming Sunday. So that's been lots of fun. So I'll be wearing my little sloth earrings when I'm crawling. So I guess we will just get started with finished objects. Okay, so all of my finished objects this episode are hats. I think this is going to be the year of hats for me. So my first one is this cute little beanie. This is let me check my notes here, Great Smoky Mountains hat, and it is in the book Knitting the National Parks by Nancy Bates. I have not blocked it yet. I need to get it blocked because the pattern is kind of nice. This knit up really quickly. It's worsted weight wool. I used some odds and ends from of my Patton's stash. So most of this was in my Taya stash or haul rather, and I don't even think they were full skeins that I used, and certainly I didn't use any full skeins on this hat. So anyway, that is hat number 1 for this episode. Again, it is the Smoky Mountains hat, and it is in the book Knitting the National Parks by Nancy Bates. Okay, my next 3 finished objects are all Musselburgh hats, and I will put the pattern information down in the notes, the show notes. So I'm going to start with my first. Actually, this is the one that I finished just recently. Because I know the yarn for this one. And this is my first one. And this yarn is Southern Skeins. It is her Southern sock. And I used 97 grams of this. It's fingering weight, comes in 100-ish gram skeins. So I used 97 grams in this hat. I had just a little bit of yarn left over that I was able to add to my scrappy blanket that I'm working on. So that is Musselburgh hat number 3. So, and this was, the colorway for this was, it was one of the monthly subscription boxes that she did. I believe it was from probably 2021 maybe, and I'm not sure which month, but anyway, So hat number 2 is this beautiful blue. So I think everyone will be getting hats probably for Christmas this year. This one, I'm not sure of the yarn. This was part of my Taya haul, the big haul of yarn that I got from my friend Taya. So it is like a tweed. There's little bits in there. But it's a fingering weight too, I believe. And it was 98 grams for the hat, the whole hat. So, and then finally, have this little brown guy. This yarn was also from my Taya haul. And not sure who he'll go to. And this one took 87 grams. And it is a little bit, this was, I believe, the first one I knit. So it's a little shorter. I knit the others a little bit longer, you know, and it's the whole, you start, do some increases, knit along 2, do your decreases, and then fold it in. So anyway, that is it for finished objects. It was all hats. I plan to work on some more of these. I've really they're just great. They're fun. They're relatively quick. Once you get past the increases and you're on just the straight knitting, you can take it pretty much anywhere and just knit away and stockinette stitch, no problem. So yeah, I kind of fell in love with this pattern and I'll be making some more. I actually have some plans for certain people and have already found the yarn that I want to use for them. So stay tuned, more of these to come. So, all right, so up next will be works in progress. Okay, well, I'm going to share 3 current works in progress. I have plenty of others that are languishing, but I have 3 that I've been working on pretty regularly, in addition to all the hats that I finished. So the first one is just a pair of vanilla socks, and I'm on my second sock, and I am past the heel, onto the foot. So I did them cuff down. I did about 15 rows of cuff, and then it's just a plain vanilla sock. I am doing an Eye of Partridge heel. I kind of enjoy that one just because it looks a little different. So anyway, the yarn is Southern Skeins, and it is her Southern sock. Let's see. Okay. The yellow hat is that yarn's from 2019, but it is the Sock Club. This one was from November of 2019. And these socks and the yellow hat that I have finished are for my BSF co-leader. We lead Bible Study Fellowship for the preschoolers, and she's been my co-leader this year. Every year we change co-leaders. And this year my friend Teresa is my co-leader. And so I have been we have the baby class. So in the baby class, we take our shoes off when because we're down on the floor with them. And so we wear socks, and I've been wearing my knit socks, and she always comments on them and just thinks that it's so neat that I can knit socks. So I decided I would knit her some fun socks as a end of the year gift. And she also, the hat, I just thought everybody needs a Musselburgh hat. So her favorite color is yellow. So that's why she gets the fun, bright yellow hat. And it will look beautiful on her. So that's what those 2 are for. That is my first work in progress. And I am hoping, since I'm already on to the foot, and I'm doing them on double pointed needles, US 1, I believe. I'll double check that and put it in the notes below. I'm hoping to finish these maybe this week. So that is that for those. My next work in progress is my Cobblestone hoodie sweater. And so I think this is the back. The back is done. And I left my yarn information. Hold on, I might have it right here. I don't think I do. Anyway, I'll put the yarn information in the show notes. But I'm just doing the purple and then 3 white stripes and a green stripe, 3 white stripes and a green stripe. The green is actually yarn that I dyed myself. I don't have very much of it. I think I did a couple of minis. So I am hoping to have enough to finish this out. But I know I have enough to do both the back and the front fully. So if I don't have enough of the green to fully stripe the arms, I might just stripe them, do one repeat of the 3-in-1 at the down by the cuff of the arm, just to give it a little, and then have the rest of the arm just be in the purple because I have plenty of that yarn. Anyway, so I've got all of the back done, and I've got a decent portion of the front done. And of course, I'm gonna have to seam them together and do the sleeves, and there's also a hood. So yeah, I've still got a ways to go on this. I had planned on finishing it for my mother-in-law's birthday, which was the 20th of April, and obviously that didn't happen. So we're coming into spring, full spring and summer anyway, so it's going to be quite warm. So she might get it for Christmas. Purple is one of her favorite colors. So anyway, so that is on the needles, and I really need to pick that back up. I kind of set it aside for a while. Once I knew I wasn't going to make it in time for her birthday, I kind of just set it aside. So I need to pick that back up and get it finished and get it off the needles and free those needles up. I've been using my Chalgo, and I've really enjoyed using those. Just really comfortable. So that is WIP number 2. And finally, and this will be a long-term WIP, I've been working on my Coziest memory. So last episode, I believe I was here, and I didn't have this third little row started. So I've made some progress. And I've just been using my leftovers from Advents and other projects, some of my sock projects and stuff like that. I'm using fingering weight. I am using, I believe, US 2 needles. I'll put all of that down there. So I really do like this because I can do a square or two and feel like I've accomplished something. And then I can set it down and pick it up whenever. I try to do Scrappy Sundays when I remember to pick it up. I try to work on it on Sundays for Scrappy Sunday, but I haven't done that every Sunday. I did take it with me. We had a regional dive meet for my diving son this weekend. And so I took it with me in the car. I didn't take it. I took the socks with me to do in the natatorium. But I took this just because it was over in Dallas. So it was a little bit of a drive. So I took this to work on in the car. And we also had several hours where we were just kind of waiting in the car for his turn, his group to dive. So I worked on it some this weekend. And yeah, I'm enjoying it. I plan to, once I get done, I'm thinking about putting maybe an I-cord border around it just to tie it all together. And I haven't even thought about what color I want to do. So I might have to go shopping for some yarn for that when the time comes. So those are my current WIPs. Like I said, I have others, and one of my goals this year is to try to work through those. But I get distracted. I I see all the patterns that everyone's working on when I watch other podcasts, and I want to throw those patterns on the needles. And so that is still a goal for me. I'm hoping maybe once I finish these socks and the sweater that, yes, I'll probably start another Musselburgh hat, but that I will pick up one of those older works in progress and make some progress on them. There's a few that if I just spent a couple days on, they'd probably be finished. So anyway, that is that for works in progress. So acquisitions. When I was talking about works in progress, I was talking about one of my goals being working through some of my languishing WIPs. Another of my goals has been to work down my stash. But I did say when I set that goal for myself at the beginning of the year that didn't mean that I would not purchase any new yarn. So all of my projects that I have started on this year have been from my stash. But I may have a problem because I have acquired quite a bit of yarn since my last episode, and that's not including the yarn crawl, which is ongoing. And I do try to purchase at least something from every store. It may not be yarn, maybe progress keepers or stitch markers or needles. But the first two stores I have purchased yarn. So those are not going to be included in this video. So this will just be acquisitions since the last episode, since episode 3 until now, and not include anything from the yarn crawl. So up first, and there might be some crinkling as I pull these out of the bag. I did, let's see. This is from February. This is the Fireweed Fiber Company Buffy the Vampire Slayer Yarn Club sock set. This colorway is called Do You Love My Insides? And it's February 23 Yarn Club. It is the Sweet Pea sock base. It is 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 2-ply yarn. It's 100 grams. And then it's got 2 little minis that are complementary colors. I was super excited. I got the January one, the February one, and the March one. And I took a break because I knew the yarn crawl was coming. So I won't be getting April's. I'm a little bit sad about that because it's beautiful. I will probably make socks with these, with the accent colors, because it's just super pretty yarn. So for March is the same Fireweed Fiber Company, and it's also on the Sweet Pea sock. And this colorway is called That's Fairly Freaksome. I really love this one. I think, I just really love it. I love the colors. I love the kind of aqua with the orange. It's perfect. March is my birthday month, so of course I was going to love the colors on this. So those are the 2 that I ordered as part of that Buffy the Vampire Slock or Yarn Club. In February, so we're going to backtrack a little bit. My diver went to the, for high school dive, he went to the state dive meet, which is held at the University of Texas in Austin. And so we went down for a weekend to watch him dive. And that was some tough competition at that meet. But he dove well personally, and had a good time, and got to hang out with some of his friends and see some of the kids that in the dive community. They get to know each other when they do meets together. So we got to see some of the kids that he's met over the last few years as he's been diving. So it was a lot of fun. And one of the things that I try to do when we take trips here and there is I used to do coffee mugs, and my coffee mug cabinet is overflowing. So now I've tried starting to find a local yarn shop in the area where we are visiting, and I try to pick up some yarn as a souvenir. So I did do that. In Austin, there is Hill Country Weavers, and I picked up a few things, more than one skein. So I try to get at least one skein of yarn that is local, from a local dyer or a local, that is the shop's yarn. This is the shop's yarn. This is Hill Country Weavers from deep in the heart of Texas. And this is Naturally Hill Country Weavers is the yarn. It's Soko fingering weight, 87% Peruvian wool and 13% Donegal viscose. It's 437 yards, 100 grams. And the colorway is Naturally Hill Country Weavers. So it's just kind of a, I hope the lighting, it's a natural color with lots of pretty flecks. There's yellow and red and blue, maybe even a few little green flecks in there. And then to go with it, I got this fuzzy goodness. This is 72% kid mohair, 28% silk, and it is called Hope Floats. My plan for these, actually, I did buy these with a purpose in mind, a plan in mind. I think I'm going to make myself a Musselburgh hat, and I think I'm going to try them together and see how that goes. I don't know that I've ever worn anything with mohair, and I've heard that sometimes people are sensitive to it. So we'll see. But the plan is that this one will be for me. So that is from Hill Country Weavers. And additionally, I picked up this skein from Treehouse Knits. It is the colorway is Ivy, and it's their Sequoia sock base, 80% superwash merino wool, 20% nylon. It's 100 grams, 400 yards. I got this for my diver. His school is, their mascot is the Eagles, and their colors are dark green and black and silver. So I thought I would make him a Musselburgh hat. He earned his Letterman jacket this year, so we've ordered that. So I thought I'd knit him a hat that he could wear when it's cold and he's wearing his jacket. So anyway, that is also picked up from Hill Country Weavers from their shop. And finally, when I picked up the green, I was kind of considering making it fuzzy too, giving it a halo. And so I picked up this Surrey alpaca by Lang Yarns. Anyway, it is just, I don't even know if there's a colorway. It's black. And these are each 25 grams. So, but then I talked to him and I kind of showed him the yarn and showed him what I was thinking. And I think he decided he didn't really want the fuzz, the halo on there. So I don't know what this is going to be for. I'll figure something out down the road. So that is everything that I did, that I purchased at Hill Country Weavers in Austin, Texas. If you are in Austin and need yarn, their shop is great. It's really kind of a large shop. They have lots of great product. Go check them out. They were super helpful, very, very nice. And yeah, so check them out in Austin. So finally, hold on. I did, sorry about the crinkling. So finally in acquisitions, I was scrolling through YouTube and I saw all of the videos of people going to the Hobby Lobby clearance. And I watched the videos and I kept telling myself, no, you do not need to go to Hobby Lobby and buy clearance yarn. You have plenty of yarn. Your goal this year is to knit from stash and work on that. And the yarn crawl is coming up and you know you're gonna buy yarn on the yarn crawl, and you just bought yarn in February because you were out of town. And so I told myself, you don't need to go to Hobby Lobby. And then I went to Hobby Lobby. So I hit it at the end. I kind of purposefully like waited so that hoping that I would get there and there would be just nothing worth picking up or that I wanted to use. But there was some, and I didn't go crazy, but I did pick up a few things at Hobby Lobby that were on clearance. I had to get the little Yarn Queen desk ornament, I guess you could call it. So I picked up, there was, I think, one left, so I picked that up. I also found this little sloth keychain. He's holding yarn. And I thought he needed to come home with me, so I picked him up. And then at Christmas time, we like to do puzzles. And so I thought I would challenge us this year with the yarn puzzle. So anyway, I picked those few things up that are not yarn. And then I did also get some yarn. So excuse the rustling from the bag. Let's see. So they had very little of the hand-dyed left when I got there, which was on purpose on my part, because I knew I would have been far too tempted. But I did find 3 skeins of this, and I really like the naturals with the blue. This is called Tiger's Eye is the colorway, and let's see, I think it's just 100% wool. Yeah. Anyway, so I got 3 of these. I don't know what they're going to be. I don't know if there'll be any, maybe I don't know. I have some yarny friends. Maybe it'll be gifts for them. I also have something that I'm kind of working on for a Christmas surprise that it might go with that. I don't know. So we'll see. But anyway, they had 3 skeins left and I picked them up. Additionally, I found some of this Yarn Bee cotton XXL. And I like these just to do, I've done the grandmother's favorite washcloth with these, but I like the thickness to make dishcloths with. So I'll probably just make some basic little dishcloths with these. I think they were regular $5.49. They were on clearance for $137. They are 100% cotton. This one is called Dusty Sage, and the lighting is really bad, sorry. And it is exactly that, Dusty Sage. And then this one is called Clay, and it really does kind of look like clay. So, lastly, I found some patents left on sale, and these, I really liked these colors. So this color is Midnight Orchid. And it's just the patent sock, the Croy sock. And then I found 3 of Plum. And then I found 2 Northern Lights. So with these, one of the kind of upcoming fun things happening, one of the happenings going on is my husband is printing me a 3D printed circular sock machine. We are attempting. So we're gonna see how that goes. He's got it mostly done. We're making some adjustments. We tried to cast on some scrap yarn and it was catching. So we're making some adjustments on that. But I'm hoping maybe by the end of this week, we will have a working circular sock knitting machine. So my hope is that with some of these in particular, as I'm learning to use it, that I'm going to use some of the Croy sock, especially since I got it on clearance. So if it's a total disaster, I won't have used one of my, wonderful, more expensive hand-dyed hanks of yarn. But I am hoping that this will make some beautiful socks because I do really like the colorways. And so that is my hope. I have some other of this I've had for years that I'm going to start with, the colorways I don't like as much. So, but with these in particular, I'll probably do like cuffs and toes and heels and then the main part of the sock. So, cause they look nice together. So, anyway, these will be my first projects on the knitting machine if we get that put together and can get it working the way that we want it to. So when I did go to the clearance, I had that in mind, because I think he had started, by the time I went, he had started working on printing the parts for that. So it wasn't completely just go buy all the things. These were on purpose. So that is not it for acquisitions. And I was very bad and I did not, it's right here. I was scrolling along, I think on Instagram, and I saw this on Instagram. So I went immediately to Etsy and bought this little bag. It is by Knit for Brains. And they have I believe an Etsy shop, and it is just a little bag. It's fairly small. You could probably fit a sock project, or I think I had my Musselburgh in here. But it is all the cartoons from the 80s. My Little Pony, She-Ra, He-Man, Rainbow Bright, not Light Bright. The Gummy Bears, the Smurfs. There's others on here. Transformers. So Care Bears, all of them from Saturday morning cartoons in the 80s. So I had to get it. Inspector Gadget's on there too. Anyway, so I did, that was my final acquisition. And it's just super cute. And it's real simple. It's lined inside. It's a drawstring, simple, but I love the fabric and it shipped very quickly. And anyway, so go check out Knit for Brains. She's got really cute bags. And yeah, so that's it for acquisitions. For, now because the yarn crawl. But yeah, so that is it for acquisitions. Okay, so my last little section that I like to tag on to the end is my Addie King circular knitting machine projects that I have been working on. I don't include these with my other knitting projects because it is done on a machine. But they are hand cranked and hand done, and so I do like to include them in here. Let's do finished projects that I've done with that. So all of my finished projects are hats, and sorry, I thought I had more than this, but I have 4 more hats that I have done on my Addie King machine. I've got this one. This one was, this is wool, and it was from my Taya stash. And I believe this was a fingering weight that I held double. And I really like how it turned out. And again, I'm sorry about the lighting. It's not great. Anyway, so that one. And then this one was also from my Taya stash. And I put a little pom-pom on this one. And I think this one I think it's 2 separate. I think it's a purple yarn and then the colored yarn. And I think I held that double. I might be lying. Anyway, it's been a while since I've done this because it took me forever to make my 4th episode. So, and I didn't keep great notes. So especially for that, I just cranked these out, and they're all from stash, and they're these 2 are from that stash, the haul that I got from Taya. So not all of the yarns had information with them. So, and then I've got 2 more, and I dropped one, so hold on. These are just worsted acrylic. I think this is Hobby Lobby's I Love This Yarn. And then this might be Impeccable that I picked up at Michael's. Anyway, so these will all probably go in my donation bag for Operation Christmas Child to go in shoeboxes for Christmas. So those are all done and ready to go. I do have 2 works in progress that I'm working on my Addie machine. The first one that I put is this guy. It's going to be a baby blanket. And so what you do with the machine is you crank out long tubes and then you seam them together. And so this one, I've got 2 tubes seamed together. And I think I've actually started, yeah, I'm not done seaming this, but I started seaming these 2. And then I'll seam the 2 sections together. And then I have enough yarn, I'm hoping, to go around and give it a border. I'll probably crochet a border. But I'm not sure how much I'll do. I'll probably start with single crochet and then just see how I'm doing on yarn. This is, okay, so that was Lion Brand Cupcake. And it is lightweight, 350 grams. And I think I've used, a total of 2 cakes. It's 100% acrylic. And then it shows you on the back. So I just cranked out those four tubes, and I didn't have enough. I didn't feel like I had enough to make a 5th tube, so I didn't. And I just kept the extra so I can do a border. So the border will add a little bit of extra to it. And then I enjoyed doing that, so I decided I wanted to do a Christmas blanket. And so I cranked out, I've only done 1 tube of this, but I have the green and the red. And so I'll make, I'm not sure how many tubes I will make of this. I have a lot of the green, So several years ago, I thought I was going to make a bunch of mermaid tail, like Afghan things that you could wear that, and I thought I would make it for all of my pickle walk sloth friends. And so I got a ton of green and then also green sparkle yarn, at Michael's, I believe. I think that is, oh no, Hobby Lobby. The green I think is I love this yarn. And then the red I think is impeccable. Anyway, I purchased a ton of the green. So I have plenty of the green. The red I have a few skeins left of. So I'll probably do several that have the red and green sections, and then I'll do several that are just green, or maybe green with the sparkle, to break up those rows. And then I'll do some sort of a border probably in green, because that's what I have the most of. Anyway, so that's for Christmas. I don't know if that's going to be for here for our house, or if I will gift that to someone else, but that is the plan. Again, I've only done the one tube so far. But that is all for my Addie King projects. I enjoy it. It's something easy. I feel like I get something accomplished sometimes with my knitting. I don't think that I'm a slow knitter, but I'm a distracted knitter. So I'll go on a project and I want to do something else. You know, I get like, I guess, project fatigue. But because of that, I feel like I don't get anything really finished. It's one of the reasons I enjoy socks, because because of the different parts of it. So I can feel like, okay, you've finished the cuff, so you've accomplished that. Now you've finished the leg. Now you've finished the heel and the gusset. So I like the breakdown of the different parts. Where I get stuck is on the longer, the foot, or the second sock. And then, so a lot of times they get put down, and, then I pull them out later and I can finish them. But with the Addie King, I can sit there for a half an hour and crank out a hat and feel like, okay, you made something. So I do enjoy it. It will never take the place of hand knitting for me. But it is fun, and I can use up some of my stash, especially some of my stash acrylic, the worsted weight. I don't use worsted weight a whole lot anymore. And I just have a ton that I've accumulated over the years. So I want to use it. I want it to be made into something usable. So this is an easier way for me to go about doing that. So I will continue to include my finished projects and my works in progress for the Addie circular knitting machine here. And you can certainly skip it if that's not something that interests you. Or maybe it does interest you. So here it is. And feel free to ask any questions about it if you have any, or, or you can skip it if you don't. But I think that is about it. I did talk about the upcoming circular sock knitting machine that we're hoping to get finished here in the next few days. So I'm excited to be able to show some progress with that, and hopefully work through I have a lot of sock yarn. That's kind of my favorite thing to order or buy at local yarn stores. So I really do. I enjoy the fingering weight yarn and sock yarn. That's generally what it is. So I am excited to hopefully start using that circular sock knitting machine and try to get proficient at it, and then potentially use some of that sock yarn stash that I have to make everyone socks and to make lots of socks for myself. I've been watching lots of YouTube videos to get ideas on different techniques. And so I do have the beginnings of a plan for how I want to attack using the machine. So yeah, I hope to be covering that here soon. But I guess that is a wrap on episode 4. I just want to say thanks if you've stuck around till the end. Thanks for joining me, and I am going to do my best to be here more frequently. I'll try not to wait almost 3 months until the next episode. I do hope to get some vlogs of the yarn crawl up here in the next week, and also I want to do an update on my goals that I set at the beginning of the year for 2023, my 2023 goals. So I want to do an update video of those. So I'm hoping to also do that maybe this week, since I'm on a recording kick right now. So I will take advantage of my motivation to do this and try to get those videos also uploaded and ready to go. So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.